social, especially my generation, like social media, man, that's some hype stuff and blah, 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 blah. It's all about skill, all about skill. I'm like, but you know how many dope people there are right now that no one knows about right now? Like,
Fact.
so the whole thing is like, you know, a lot of stuff what we in my generation, we were like keep it secret when there was only like 5 jams a year, like literally 5 jams a year. Like freestyle session was probably like one of the only jams that happened in San Diego for a while, and that was like once a year, every November.
Yes.
So now that you're younger and you're from that generation of, you know, look at me generation, right? The TikTok generation, you know, Gen Z, or you're like probably later middle, like about to transfer into Gen Z generation. You're for it. So why do you think there's a pushback of breaking, B-boys and B-girls specifically, pushback on social media? What do you think it is? That's a deep question.
Because look, I've had this conversation multiple times with people that are on both sides, right? So it really depends what you want to do with your talents, really, at the end of the day. Because if what you're about is like preserving the artistry, keeping the secret, popping out at an event and coming back and like nobody sees you until the next event, then that's cool, man. Keep doing what you're doing, you know, keep the Instagram as the way that you're doing it, keep your Facebook the way you're doing it. Right. A lot of people think this is like there's like a secret to the game where like if you don't put your moves out there, like you're never gonna like get caught up lacking, right? Like no one's ever gonna see you messing up your moves because they don't know what you're capable of, which is cool. I get that. But look, man, like a lot of people don't spend time watching other people's, like you don't get as much attention as you think you're getting when you're putting your clips out there. Trust me when I say this. And this is a conversation that I've had with Nico.
Bro, 100. That's real. That's real.
And Nico was like, yo, like for a long time, that was me. Like I had all these combos that I was like, I'm gonna keep to myself. At the next jam, I'm gonna pop out and show out. And then he said, and then I came to the conclusion that it's gonna be in people's minds for like 2 seconds, and then they're gonna move on to the next clip. And chances are maybe they'll like have an idea of what I can do, but they're not gonna remember the exact moves. So I have nothing to lose from posting them, and I have everything to gain, because what if the right people see it, get the right opportunities, blow up, go viral? And after I talked to Nico about that, I was like, yo, this is like, I was already on his side, but this is really good support for me to keep pushing that route. And look, I get it. There's a lot of dudes out there that like for example, Stripes is nasty. He doesn't have to have a social media presence like that because he already has proven and will continue to prove moving forward just how
100.
But not everybody is Stripes. You get me? Like there's some people that are nasty that just need that little social media push in order to become more visible. And dude, I am 100% for it, man. Like, look,
dude,
if you got a cool clip, you want to line it up with some Future, with some Drake, and you want to show up, show out, get a couple thousand views, do it. You got nothing to lose, man. Really. And
Raul says I usually skip LPrad's clips. Yo, shout out to Raul.
Hey, that's 100% facts, man. I don't remember the last time.
Holy crap.
So it's all good, man.
But see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, yo, what's crazy, and you could talk to Wealthy and Domkey, 2015 Silverback Open. I predicted someone like Nico. I predicted it. And you could ask them. They were on the tour bus with me. And they were like, wait, why? That's like, I'm telling you, man. You're going to like, because like, you know, that one year that I was a prelim judge. And there was like 900 contestants. And then I was a prelim judge for like a cipher that 5 judges, 300 people. And we're only supposed to pick 10. And then 2 more maybe for a tiebreaker. And that's even separate, like, that's even separate from the 100 that got $100. Like there's 100 that didn't get to top 32. And I was like, dude, everyone was kind of decent. And guess what? Who only stuck out? The ones that already had a presence. The ones that had a visibility. And you saw it yourself. You saw when Nico was dope, but wasn't getting as far.
Right.
But after that, he did that whole year of social media, all of a sudden he's getting past prelims. All of a sudden he's getting top 8. Maybe he was losing in the semis, but then he started to learn how to be in those semis and start to get to the finals more. So I predicted that 2015 as Domkey and Wealthy. They were in the bus and they were kind of like making a joke about me.
The historians.
But, dude.
And look, this is what it is. Like nowadays the divide is not it's not that big. Like there's going to be people that are going to pop out at your local jam and you're like, yo, I've never seen this person before. And what do? The first thing you do are like, yo, let me follow them on social media. I want to see more of what they're doing. You're like, these are connections that are made at events. This is what a community is about. And like, lo and behold, man, the community lives and exists on the internet. Majority, like the most part. During quarantine, people were doing like online battles. People were in their living room throwing crazy rounds just to beat someone else in their living room.
We like, never, I don't think, like I never seen Melissa before, but when she went like 21 rounds, like she made her name. She didn't even have to win. The fact that she did 21 rounds was like, okay, well, who's this person? And then all of a sudden you see her in person and she's killing it the same way. Yo, okay, word, it's Melissa now. And that's what's like, and I feel like, and I'm going to say this, as an elder, we were toxic in saying that. Keep your shit secret. So it only applied because there was 5 jams around the world. And you can't afford to be secret. There was 20 crews, maybe in America. Maybe in 1997, there might have been 20 crews in America as a whole. And you look forward to maybe a best of the best and a battle of the year. So you could keep it secret. You could be like, I'm going to ambush this guy at the jam because I've seen every move that he did that I saw from a VHS. And that's eight months later, I got it and I could practice his moves and then smoke him. Now it's impossible. Try it. Have you guys got past prelims? No, you haven't. And you guys could be good. So it's like there was a reason why there was Don King. You know what I mean? For boxing promoters, there was a reason. You know how many dope like fighters there are that, you know, once they get put on by Dana White, and that's the whole thing. We're chasing this similar thing without like, yo, if Backpack Kid could do it with some crazy weird dance, I don't know why a B-boy or B-girl can't.
Right. That's 100% true. And look, it happens again when Pocket hit the Joe Rogan podcast.
I predicted that too. Ask Joe Rock from Massive Monkeys. That was August 2016. I had a conversation with him about June 2016, and I said, yo, once it hits Joe Rogan, it's on. And that's like, dude, we got to talk, man. Because I predict a lot of stuff, man. I predict a lot of stuff.
And look, this is another thing I'll say, like, not to be like all on this soapbox, but more so like, I understand that there's a perception of people that like, if you post a lot on Instagram, oh, you're like an Instagram B-boy. But like, there is a fine line between being an Instagram B-boy and caring about the content that you're putting out in order to fulfill the opportunities that you're seeking. Like, and you know, Profo, I mean, maybe you've been in the industry, maybe you've looked at jobs. People look for real, man. People look for what you're able to do when you're not, you know, when you're not practicing. What does your performance look like? You need to keep track of these things regardless. And a lot of people don't look for work in the breaking
I've called it. Ark has used this formula. You know, my boy now, Justified, he uses the formula. He's getting known. He's putting himself out there. And everyone was kind of like looking at me like, nah, man, that's not what we learned. But the reason why we said that back in the day, because like back in the day, the people that were in charge of media didn't know hip hop, period. Now the people that are in charge of media are my age that grew up on hip hop.
Yep.
So they know how to market it now. It's not going to be as corny. It's not going to be this thing that happened in the 80s. That's what it is. This people of my age had post-traumatic stress from the 80s. So we were trying to like, you know, be like, nah, let's keep it underground. Let's keep it underground. But then it's not that great when you're working at UPS, when you have this talent that no one else has. And I'm like, okay, let me break my back lifting these boxes versus like, well, I could get the same amount from teaching or from competing. And, you know, and again, you know, once the wave comes in, as far as the, you know, the 2024 Olympics, who knows what's going to happen? So it's like, yo, position yourself before it comes. I'm glad, dude, as a young person, I'm glad that you're like with me on that, man.